friends. It is Friday, March 12th, and I have known what day it is every single day this week, which should tell you right away that there has been some massive timeline shifts because what the heck, right? It's been weirding everybody out. We had another timeline shift last night. Maybe you feel it. Maybe you don't. I don't know. We talked about timeline shifting last night during the channeling session with the Purple Crescent. I talked for about 10 minutes about timeline shifts and how to interact with them. And I'm going to give you a quick recap in case you were not there. You can find the recording of that channel on the podcast as well. But in a nutshell, we always change timelines. This is not a new phenomenon that's happening this year. We are shifting timelines constantly because our choices shift constantly. And the timeline shifting for us personally is called the consequence of actions, right? And that's not negative or positive. It's a neutral energy. It's just how things fall, right? And we make choices, other people in our lives make choices, people not in our lives make choices, and those affect the people and things in our lives. And it just kind of creates this massive tapestry that's constantly in motion, constantly shifting. So not a new thing. What is new is our sensitivity to these timelines and our awareness of how we can interact with them. In the past, we were not really in that place of understanding that while timelines shifted, we are able to put our energy into specific ones to kind of shore them up and bring them up to the surface, as opposed to being, tossed around at the whims of the world, which is kind of how it was feeling beforehand. So we're starting to understand, right, that that's not how it is now. And we've got a few things going on. We've got our personal timelines and we've got the collective timelines, and everything is shifting and moving around like bananas right now. So that's not stopping, but it is going to somewhat, it's not going to be as crazy once we hit the spring equinox, once we move into Aries season. That's why it's so important right now to pull your energy in and to start interacting consciously with the timelines you're in so that you can really get deft, why this word? But you can get deft at constructing and manipulating. And when I say manipulating, I want to reaffirm for you what I'm saying. I'm moving my hands when I say that. Manipulation is actually hand movement. We are using our hands to move the energy into the shapes and spaces that we find most pleasing for us. So the little hack that I shared last night is when you wake up in a new timeline, like today, ask yourself, how do you feel about it? Do you like it? As you start interacting with your day, do you enjoy these things? If you do, be very, very conscious about how you interact with everything. React from your present heart space and decline the urge to pull your old timeline feelings and thoughts into the new one. Because the moment you do that, you shift that timeline out. It doesn't even have a moment to root into anything. And right now, nothing can really anchor. So it's even more important to be really careful with the timelines that you like and feed them as much positive energy as you can. So I'm going to give you the example I gave last night. So sorry if this is redundant for some of you, but I woke up on Monday after having kind of a rough weekend with my husband. And I woke up and he's like so nice and so kind and is saying like, oh, let's wake up with love. My only goal in life is to make you happy. I had a choice there. And trust me, it was not easy because I'm like, what? I could either feed into that timeline or I could say, what the hell are you talking about? That's not what you said on Friday. Those are the kind of conscious choices I'm talking about. They're that simple because in that one moment, I had the opportunity of reaching back into old timelines and bringing them into the new, Or I can just stay in the new timeline, shore that up because I like that energy, and I can say, I like some of this. This is like, universe is personal shopping for you, okay? And you're kind of new together because you didn't realize you could do personal shopping, right? So they're bringing you all of these different outfits, and you have to let them know, like, I like the cut of this, but not the color. I don't want any more high water pants. These things with the stirrups that go on the feet things, those are really not in style, so I don't want them at all. And as you interact with your personal stylist, they start to understand what you're looking for, and then they can keep bringing you things that fall in line with what you say you like, okay? So it's like an algorithm. You're teaching it. So affirm the things you like, and don't bring your old energy into it, because you will ruin it, because you don't like the old energy. And there's no lesson to learn here. You're not going to be teaching anybody anything. You'll just be putting yourself in an energy that you didn't want to be in. It's kind of that simple. At the same time, we have, and we talked about this, I want to say, I don't know time about the weeks, was it last week? I don't know. But we talked about stagnant timelines, right? And oh yeah, this was full moon. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about the stagnant timelines, and we had this opportunity during our moon call for Archangel Michael to come through and cut all of the stagnant timelines out of our lives. You can cut stagnant timelines out, but you can also reconnect them. And so for this new moon, we're going to examine that a little bit and see which stagnant timelines you have reached back into the pot and pulled and reconnected to your life. And don't feel bad if you did it. It's completely natural and human nature to have done that. And I'm sure I did it myself. In fact, I know I did. So don't feel bad about that. It's not like, oh, a good and bad thing. Okay? This is very simple. What do you want? What's enjoyable for you? And this is a tool you can use to be sure that you're putting your energy consciously into places that you want to see amplified, because you're that powerful and you're getting more and more powerful, okay? So it's just really important to stay conscious on that. Now, if there are specific things that are happening in your life that you feel like it's not enough just to say, yeah, I'm cutting these timelines, I need to do some processing. Do some processing, do the shadow work, because the shadow work unblocks you so that the other stuff can actually work. There's nothing wrong with your powers of manifestation. There may be some things blocking your belief about manifestation. There may be some things blocking your belief about your own worthiness when it comes to asking for something. That you may think that you're taking up too much space and that you're taking up too many resources. I don't know. We all have our own unique ways of completely blocking ourselves from happiness, right? So I don't know what yours are, but if you want help with that, reach out to me. That's why I'm doing one-on-ones again. We can do this in amazingly different ways, but this is the big work right now. It doesn't have to take a long time. It's not something you're going to spend 6 months doing. In fact, it could be something you spend 30 minutes doing and you're just done with it. It's that amazing right now. So keep that in mind. Our new moon call is tomorrow. I will be sending out an updated email on time because I forgot that I have football. So I think it's around 4:30 we're going to do tomorrow, but I will send out an updated email for that. If you're not part of Restoration and you'd like to join us for the new moon call for free, just click the link to all the things mentioned and you can do that. So timeline shifts. New moon in Pisces is tomorrow. Pisces has really, I don't want to say it's been kicking our butts because that's not the right term. Pisces has been really showing us our emotions in a new way. And I'm appreciative of that because for too long, we have looked at our emotions as the weak spot in ourselves, right? Like this is the place that we're vulnerable, wherever the emotions are. And starting to see that as actually the place where the superpowers are is a total game changer. It's a paradigm shifter. It's how you pull yourself out of this matrix and start actually understanding how you as a person work. We are all emotion-based creatures. Even the most analytical human is still an emotion-based creature. the more you can honor that within yourself and not make yourself feel bad about it, the more open you can be to receiving insight, to feeling connected, and to actually finding out what it is that makes you happy. Instead of wondering how other people can be happy, how can you be happy? And if you're happy, does that not create happiness around you? Are you willing to try it? Are you willing to give that a shot? Are you willing to put yourself first now, instead of believing that putting yourself first is selfish? What does selfish even mean? If the thought process that we should put other people first worked at making the world a better place, it would already have happened. So think about all of the things you've been taught and how you've been told that acting in this way is for the greater good. If it were indeed for the greater good, why are we where we are right now? And if that doesn't align for you, take a minute and say, I'm willing to try something radically different. In fact, let me do the exact opposite and focus on my own happiness for a minute and give that to myself like I would give to any other person, okay? When you shift this way, when you shift inward, you are giving yourself the opportunity to really tap into your magic and to spread the kind of energy that frees other people to do the same. Because we didn't come here to save people. That came through last night really clearly. That's not our job. The savior complex is incredibly flawed, and there's so many issues with it, including that it is based in ego in the worst way possible, okay? We didn't come here to save anybody. That's kind of crazy. We came here to experience, and we came here each as sovereign beings. So when you save somebody, you're basically saying, you're not a sovereign being, you don't know what you're doing, I know best, because somehow I have access to the real information, and I need to fix you or save you or make it possible for you to see the light. No, friends, absolutely not. If somebody comes to you and says, I see that you appear to be very happy, what is it you're doing? That's your invitation to share with them all the things. But until that happens, leave everyone alone and focus on yourself. Don't worry so much about what this person is doing or not doing, even though it hurts sometimes to watch our family and friends not be where we're at because we want them with us. That's it. We want the company, right? We want to be able to talk about all the things that are exciting and fun to us. It totally makes sense, but that's not a good enough reason to take over somebody else's free will. It's not a good enough reason to not do your own work first. So we have to kind of move past that. And it's really important that we kind of take care of that now, because we can't really drag that with us into the higher frequencies. It's going to be dense and it's going to pull you back down. Okay. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. It's speeding up. The upgrades are not slowing down. It's speeding up. Everything is like lightning fast. And yeah, we had a shift today. Do you like it? Put your energy into it, but do not become attached, because it's still going to shift again. Like, I don't know how many more times it's going to shift between now and the 21st, but it's probably going to be like double digits, because we've got about 9 days until then. Lots of shifts. Okay. So stay focused on what makes you most happy and allow your personal shopper to get some feedback. Give the universe your feedback by showing through your actions what feels best to you. Okay? I'm kind of digging this personal shopper analogy. I want to kind of sink into that a little today, but it resonates with me. I hope it resonates with you. Not that I've ever had a personal shopper, but we know, whatever. Okay. Let's get to the cards now. This is going to be a mid-month check-in. Okay. Mid-month check-in, just kind of to see where we're at and what kind of energies we have to work with between now and the 21st. So the next 9 days is what this is actually for. We're going to have probably 3 cards, and they're going to tell a story. Let's see what we got. I will post all of these things in the Restoration Facebook group. And I will also put them in my Instagram stories for those of you who are not Facebook friendly. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, so, sorry, that scare you. Here's our story. Our first card is number 12, and that's today. And it is the Swan. The Swan is all about transformation and trusting the gifts that are opening up for you right now. Your psychic gifts, your intuition, and trusting the flow of the universe. So something has started, right? It's happening. You're in the mix of the magic right now, like in it. And as you can imagine, when you're in the middle of transformation, it doesn't feel glorious, right? I'm sure it has its moments of like, ooh, something's happening, this feels good, but it also has its moments of all of my old things are being smashed and like I feel disoriented and I'm not anchored in anything. And so it is that place, and that's where we are, in the middle of transformation. We have the Love card coming through. And love is number 45 if you're paying attention to numbers. The Love card is coming through because the Love card is what we need to be tapping into. That is the emotion, that is creation energy. So when we feel destabilized, when we feel like we don't know what's about to happen, all we need to do is remember what love is, and that we are love, and that in a universe where everything is created from the energy of love, all we have to do is tap back into source to feel that divine connectedness and know that everything is going to be absolutely a-okay, beyond okay, because now we are stepping into creator roles. The next card that's coming through is the Wind Fairy, and this is very important, guys. The Wind Fairy wants to remind you, okay, that your words and your thoughts create your reality. Your words and your thoughts create your reality. So you've got to be mindful, and that's kind of what we started off talking about this morning. You're creating new timelines. You're showing the universe what you like and what you don't like through your thoughts, okay? And it's really important to make sure that everything you are putting out there is what you want consciously, because if you don't, you will be unconsciously manifesting your programs, okay? And if you are in the 6-week workshop with me, you've already done this exercise once and you're going to do it many more times. But we have been able to pinpoint what your unconscious programs are, what your spells are that you're putting out there that you're not aware of. And those are the things that you will be manifesting if you are not consciously choosing what you are manifesting, okay? And that's the belief systems that you grew up with. That's societal expectations, what your grandpa said, what your sister said last week, what a grade school teacher told you 25 years ago that never left your brain. All of those things are bopping around in there, and you are allowing them to be subconsciously directing what you're manifesting, because that's what we do. So when you start to dig into that and find out what you actually believe, not what you think you believe, that's when you can turn the switch on all of this and start to make big shifts and changes. So I put that to you. We're going to do this exercise tomorrow during the new moon call. So if you're interested, join us. It is free for the first month to join Restoration. You can hop in there. Next week, we have an amazing practitioner, Alexa from Inner Bloom Podcast, is joining us for Restoration members, and she's going to be teaching us how to do the EFT, the emotional freedom technique tapping, and that's probably going to be very helpful for like writing out the rest of this stretch until the 21st. So the Swan, you're in a transformation period. Stay in your heart, stay in the energy of love, and remember that your thoughts and your words create your reality every moment of every single day. And that's not to overwhelm you, actually. That's to empower you. At every moment in time, you have the power to shift the energy of the entire day. The only thing that prevents us from doing that, honestly, in my opinion, is our own stubbornness, right? Our own attachment to old timelines, to grudges, to fears, and how we believe that if we let go of any of those things, we lose a part of ourselves. So realizing that that's not the case will completely free you up to create whatever you want in the now moment and moving forward. So it's big, exciting times, guys. It's a big weekend. I'm so excited to see what happens next because it's just been pretty wild around here. So that's all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed. I will post these 3 cards, like I said, in my stories on Instagram and in the Restoration Facebook group for those on Facebook. The other thing is, today I'm starting the Bayou House. And if you don't know what that is, it is a total side project that is not really connected to my metaphysical work at all. So I've started a separate email list, and I will be writing this romantic fiction novel, putting excerpts on TikTok. And if you join the email list, I'm sending about 1,000 words a week to you guys, and you can give me feedback. You know, we can start interacting with it. It's super fun. It's based in New Orleans in the Bayou. There's magic, there's sexy stuff, there's all kinds of mystery. It's a little bit horror, a little bit suspense, that kind of thing. So I'm excited to get started with that. If you join the email list, which you'll find in this link, I am not going to send you anything else but things related to that book. So you will not be getting like live updates or like here's a new service or anything like that. It's just for the book. So if you want to be on that, make sure you sign up. You are not signed up if you're already on my other mailing list. This is specific for this. So have an amazing Friday. Get out and do some grounding. Remember to drink your water. I'm sending you all so much love. If you have enjoyed this transmission from podcast, YouTube, or live video, it would mean so very much to me if you would share this with your friends, and be sure to follow me on YouTube, subscribe to a podcast, comment where you can. All of these things help me so much to reach more people so that I can do this. Thank you guys. I love you. Mwah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.